everybody, and welcome back to Screen Stars. Transcendence is a 2014 film directed by Willie Pfister, who really was only really known for cinematography before this, and stars Johnny Depp, Rebecca Hall, Morgan Freeman, Paul Bettany, and Cillian Murphy. And this was actually a film that I'd never seen. It kind of fizzled away to nothing when it came out, even though there was a bit of buzz about it beforehand. But I've just started a new series on my channel called Misunderstood Movies, and I felt sure that this was going to be a misunderstood movie, if you like. But I'd never seen it, so I got it while I was on holiday recently and watched it. With the intention of probably putting it in misunderstood movies if after watching it, but I can't put it in misunderstood movies because it doesn't fit in that category, because it's just not very good, this film, really. And I only really want to put films in that category that I feel have been misunderstood by audiences or I think deserve a second chance. That's not to say that I think this movie is terrible. I don't think it's terrible. It's just a bit dreary. So, what do we get here? Well, this is a movie that is playing around with ideas that we've seen before in other movies, like Lucy, like Lawnmower Man, and it's about artificial intelligence, essentially. And what we get at the beginning is we've got Johnny Depp, who plays a character called Will Castor, and he's like a scientist, genius type level scientist, and he's trying to create artificial intelligence because he thinks it'll change the world. He's married to Evelyn Rebecca Hall, and they've got this whole team of scientists working, and right at the beginning of the movie they're all attacked. There's many scientists killed by this organisation that basically is fighting against it, and they think artificial intelligence is a terrible idea and it'll be the downfall of humanity. They're probably right, to be honest. And in this attack, Johnny Depp is shot, but actually when he recovers from the bullet wound, what they actually discover is he was actually poisoned by the bullet as well, with like radiation, and he's only got literally a couple of months to live. So what Paul Bettany does and his wife Evelyn, they decide to try and upload his consciousness to this computer that they've already invented, but they just haven't pieced everything together in regards to how to make it fully artificial intelligent. But they uncover some more research that they hadn't seen from one of them in their team that is the final piece of the puzzle. So when he finally passes Johnny Depp, they upload his consciousness into this computer, and he's away. It works. But immediately Paul Bettany gets cold feet, because as soon as he wakes up in this machine, Johnny Depp starts asking for more power to be plugged in to get more power. He needs to get more aware, he needs to plug into the banks, etc, etc. And Paul Bettany straight away is like, oh, I don't like this, we need to turn him off, that's not him, that's not Will. And the wife doesn't believe him, and he tells him to get out. And she runs off then, and they end up going to this place way out in Arizona, I think it is. This really run down town, and they basically buy it, and they bring in these work crews, and they build this massive place for him to grow and get more powerful, but also to develop the town in a way that he makes them all work for him. And all in the while, there's this organisation that's fighting against AI, and the FBI and all the others start figuring out what's going on, and they start seeing it for the danger that it actually is becoming, because Johnny Depp is healing all these people with disabilities, etc., that are coming to the site with like this nanotechnology. He's healing them, but while he's healing them, he's also got the power to control them too. So he's like creating an army, or so it seems. That's kind of the story here. And then they see the threat and they want to close it all down. So that's the story that we get here. Now, the idea behind the story and stuff is fine. The movie that itself works. It's just pulled off in a fairly humdrum, dreary way. There's not a lot happens in this movie. Um, there's the Morgan Freeman character and the Cillian Murphy character. They just didn't need to be in this movie at all. They were a complete waste of time being in the movie. It's not often you say that about Morgan Freeman. He's not bad in the movie. It's just the character was pointless. Same with Cillian Murphy. Um, and I think they realised, I think, by the end that what they actually had here was a movie that just wasn't particularly interesting. So they tried to add a bit of excitement at the end, where they decided to try and take down the base. And there was some kind of battle between the soldiers, etc., and these nano humans that Johnny Depp has created. But that was dreary too. Um, it's just really forgettable, is this movie? It's not badly made or anything. Everything, it's well acted, good effects. It's just a bit dull and uninteresting, and this has been explored in better ways previously. He's just, as a villain, which ultimately he is in this movie, he's just very dull, Johnny Depp. So, not brilliant.